Judge, Judge Block, I did have a question.
Can you turn on your camera, please?
Oh, yes. Can you
Yes,
see me?
I can. All right. And Miss Wiltshire, I cannot see you. Can you turn on a light, please?
So my question was, in the last court hearing about a month ago, I expressed how I was not interested in getting a payment plan in place of the judgment.
Mhm.
So once the judgment is entered, is there a way to get a payment plan through the courts post judgment?
Um, so I would, if you win at the trial that we're going to have now, then I would grant a money judgment to you, and then the defendant owes that amount,
Yes.
and then they can pay it off however much they want. Usually, payment plans are done in advance of
Okay.
a trial to avoid having a judgment entered.
Okay.
All right. So I am waiting for Miss Hawthorne. Miss Hawthorne, can you turn on your camera, please? All right.
Yes.
Okay. And if you could move it down just a bit so I can see your face. Thank you so much. All right. So first of all, I want to apologize to everyone here. It was my mistake at the last hearing not to take testimony from the defendant. After the hearing ended and I was reviewing the notes that I had from Miss Lee's testimony, I did a little bit of research and realized that the defendant in an unliquidated damages case does have the right to present evidence and testimony as to damages only. Okay. So for that, I apologize that I did not do that last time, and that was my mistake. And I'm sorry that I wasted your time, but we're here again and we're about to move forward. So let me just look at my notes from last time. Um, so there is the defendants are in default in this case because they did not file an answer. Um, this looks like it was related to, I guess you're going to have to refresh my memory because it's been a little while. The plaintiff is seeking $15,000. Um, it was related to a contract, some kind of lease agreement. Um, and I think that's pretty much all I know. Okay.
As well as property damage on.
Okay. That's right. I vaguely remember that. All right. Okay. There was an amended statement of a claim. So it looks like the amended statement of a claim was filed on February 27th of 2025. The defendant was served personally on March 7th. Um, and I'm only seeing an affidavit of service for, oh no, it looks like they were both served personally at the same time. Okay, so this personal service, there was no answer that was filed. Um, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Miss Lee go first. She's going to prove up her case. And this is just about damages. And then I'm going to let Miss Hawthorne and Miss Wiltshire go, and they'll raise any defenses that they might have. Okay, so go ahead, Miss Lee, and let me know what you're asking for. And I do see some documents that were filed with the court. Do you happen to did you send these to the defendants?
I sent everything. I uploaded everything in eFile Georgia, and I also sent things in when I ran out of space. I sent things into the court directly. And when you just to clarify, when you say defend against the damages, is that just property damages or all everything that equal up to 15?
Anything? Because
Okay.
there's no contract in here, so I
Oh,
don't I don't
you
know
mean
how much.
contract as in lease agreement?
Yep.
Yes, there was a lease agreement.
All right. Well, they may have some argument why they did not pay the full rent amount. And so I'm going to hear that as well. All right. Okay.
Okay, let me get pulled up the itemized statement here.
All right, Miss Lee, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you want to tell me?
Sure. Okay, so I'm here looking at the old rent breakdown statement as well as the fees, bonds, and damages.
Okay,
So,
so I don't know what you're talking about because it's not labeled that way in my.
okay, so the title of the document is Itemized Claims and Invoices. You reviewed it with me at the last court hearing.
I'm sure I did, and it's still not labeled that way in my file. So,
You need to know what it was titled as in e-file
oh,
Georgia.
here it is. I see it. Okay, I got it. All right. And Miss Walker, if you could share the screen and show these documents at the same time, that would be great, so that everyone's looking at them. Or maybe I can. I don't know. Let me see if I can. Oh, I think I can. Okay, I got it. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, it's loading. Perfect. I see it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yes. So, I guess I'll start from the top with the property address. The tenants' names are there. The original lease agreement was for May 27, 2024 to May 27, 2025.
May, okay, I'm sorry, you're going too fast. May 27th, 2024.
To May 27, 2025. It's the third line, the original lease term at the top.
Okay.
And then the tenant's notice of intent to vacate was August 27. That came after the tenant made a promise to pay on a certain date, and they failed to pay. And to avoid eviction, they decided they wanted to terminate the lease early.
Okay.
The tenant moved out on the early lease termination date was September 16th. So once you move down to the old rent breakdown, I put in the description here that what's included is the rent billed through the 60-day notice period for the early lease termination. The period would be from August 27th, which was the notice date, to October 26th, which was the 60th day mark of the early lease of the 60-day notice period. So for July's rent, it was $2,700. They were late, but they didn't pay. August, they didn't pay for the amount of $2,700. September's rent, they didn't pay for the amount of $2,700. And the October's rent ended, the 60-day notice period ended on the 26th of that month, which came out to $2,264.51. So the old rent total is $10,364.51. July's late fee was $100.
Hold on one second, please.
Sure.
Do you have a white noise machine on or something?
It's my computer. I don't know why the fan is on when I have it plugged up to the charger, but I can mute every time I'm not talking. 1 second.
That's okay. I just wanted to see if there was a way that I could hear you a little bit better. All right, keep going.
Okay, so
I can see all of this and I can review it. So this is what you're asking for me to grant you today?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I have photos of all the damages. I have correspondence, everything was sent and uploaded.
All right. So you bear the burden of proof by preponderance of the evidence to show that they owe this money.
Yes.
So the lease is a little bit easier. So walk me through the other documents that prove each of these damages so I can see it.
So, okay, I guess we can look at the failure to pay correspondence.
Okay. Is that the termination correspondence?
That's where that proves the date they terminated the lease early. But the failure to pay correspondence was sent directly to the court via email. And I have there's a description at the top of each. I don't think it's that. That's for the pet. That's the covenant violation for the pet, proving it was there. Let's see. I think, is that it?
This is the late rent payment agreement.
Yes, I can't I can't see the title. I guess because it's blocking. May you go up to page 1, please?
Page 1 of this document?
Yes. I don't think that's the correct one. I think that's the. Oh no, that's for the pet. That's the pet violation. That is the document for the pet.
Okay, what do you want me to find?
It's titled failure to pay correspondence, which goes through showing that they didn't pay the rent. Or this is the termination correspondence. I don't know if you want us to go through that.
It's your case, so I can only look at what I have
That's
here,
fine.
though.
Okay, that's fine.
Um,
What you're showing now is the termination correspondence. So I know it's a little small. I have it in red here. On on August 27, 2024, the tenants elected to vacate the property. And this is, would you like me to read the entire email?
no, I can read it.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is what you construe as the notice to vacate, that their intent to vacate?
Yes. And that came on the same day that there was a promise to pay when she didn't pay, or they didn't pay.
Okay. All right, go on.
Okay, so that is what confirms the early termination, the validates early termination case. And then I have it here pulled up. I don't know if you can pull it up on your side, but I have the failure to pay correspondence where it goes down through pretty much all the opportunities that I allowed them to pay and they didn't pay on their promise.
Well, I'm not sure that that's relevant. It's
Okay,
just, relevant whether or not there was a lease and they paid under the lease or not.
right. So I mean, they didn't pay on those dates on the
Okay.
months that I provided. They didn't pay.
Do you have a ledger?
Yes, I can pull it up. Let's see.
Well, okay, I can't see it if you pull it up. So did
I
you
mean,
send it to me?
yes, yes. It's actually I think it's on the itemized document. It should be at the bottom, but it should be after the everything I listed out for each item.
Okay, is this
No, you can scroll back there. I have a circle. You can scroll back up. There we go. Right there. You see the completed payments and then where they didn't pay.
okay?
So August went unpaid. Well, you see, I combined August and September on one invoice. I'm sorry, July and August on one invoice. So it's 5,600. And then September was the month that they moved out, and that wasn't paid. It went C 2,700. They vacated. They didn't pay.
Okay, so all right. So this isn't a ledger, this is actually invoices.
That just shows that no payment. You can see the completed payments. They paid their deposit. They paid the prorated rent. They
But
paid.
it's not showing a balance. It's not showing a balance, like a rolling balance. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. I see it.
Okay.
Okay.
And as for the property damage, I sent all the pictures in. I think on yours, when you scanned it in, it looks like it's in black and white. But you should have. There we go. Okay. This one, if you scroll down, yes, there we go. The damage from the pet, you can see where we removed floorboards, and then how the pet urine soaked the baseboard trim where he's holding it up.
Okay.
And then if you scroll down, you can see where I went and purchased new flooring as proof of purchase. And I uploaded receipts for this as well. And I had to rent that flatbed truck. It was mandated that I rent it. And then to validate proof of the pet, and then you had to get this removed and disposed of, proof of smoking in the home as well. And then you can see the before and after for where the fireplace mantle is. On the top is before, and after you can see how the pet had peed through the fireplace mantle. It went through into the back wall. That had to all be replaced, and it was soaked into the marble, the porcelain down at the bottom. And then on the right, you can see all the dog hair that was cleaned from the carpet, as well as the bag of feces that's in the yellow bag there. That was all retrieved from the property.
So that was from inside or outside the feces?
The pet hair was from inside, and then of course you see the pet urine damage, and then from the backyard, and some on the patio, there was pet feces.
Okay.
And then I claimed also there were cigarette butts in the yard, as well as, you can't smell it, but they smoked in one room in particular in the house. And then there's that oil damage there. I had to get that car wash. I included that. And then I had to get the drywall repaired where they backed into the garage.
Okay. And what is this showing? It looks like an outdoor spigot.
Oh, it's an e-cigarette.
Oh, I see. That's what that green thing?
Yeah, it's still prohibited as well.
Okay. All right. So, for the dog feces, how much are you asking for that?
So, the itemized, I didn't, okay, let me pull it up. So the removal, it was invoiced. So pet feces and cigarette butt removal was 150, and then they had to dispose of it. So the pet feces and cigarette butt disposal was 50.
You don't have trash service at this house?
I just allowed them to dispose of it.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. So that's the smoking and the dog feces. Now the fireplace mantle, how much is that?
So the fireplace mantle, the total cost for that was, so it's weird. So last time you told me I couldn't, so I in the lease there's a $500 fine for the pet being in the home, and she said that the pet was removed. That turned out to not to be true. So I charged 500 for continued presence, and you said it wasn't in the lease, so I wasn't able to bill for that. So I only, if you look at number 16 and 17 of the itemized claim, I only cited a partial payment because I couldn't. It would have went over 15,000 had I claimed the entire amount. So if I can give you the full amount.
Yeah, just tell me how much you're asking for.
Okay. So for the fireplace mantle wood restoration, that was 350.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the flooring install, that I put partial, but that was 575.
Okay. All right. And how much are you asking for the oil damage on the floor of the garage?
So it was together. So it was because of the pet feces on the patio and the cigarette butt. We did pressure wash for the garage and patio floor was 125 total.
Okay. And then the drywall in the garage, how much are you asking for that damage?
That was 150.
Okay.
And then the laminate flooring and pickup.
What room was that for?
The living room where the photos where the floorboards were removed, and he was showing the pet urine underneath.
Okay, so that's the living room floor.
Yes.
And why did that flooring need to be replaced?
The pet urine had seeped through.
Okay.
And it was swelling.
All right. And so how much was that?
The laminate flooring material and pickup was $285.96. And they mandated the flooring company, you have to rent a flat. If you don't have one, you need a flatbed truck. So that costs $159.83.
Okay. And did that include the install charge as well?
For the flooring, no. The install charge by the company was $575, as mentioned.
All right. So, all right. And then
next we have the pet and smoke. I had to do order remediation because of the smell in the house. It was $1,000.
Okay.
And then we did full carpet shampoo and pet hair removal. That was $200 that I paid. And because it was beyond, I guess, normal wear and tear due to the unauthorized pet, I did pay for a deep cleaning for $372.06. In the room where the smoker was, or where they would smoke, I had to do a full room repaint for that. That was $361.78.
Do you have any pictures of that?
I do. I think I ran out of space in e-file, so those are sent in by email.
All right, Ms. Walker, do we know where those wound up?
I can tell you the date. Give me 1 second.
Ms. Walker, I didn't hear you.
They were uploaded in the case.
The 8th of what?
No, they were uploaded in the case, the email with the exhibits that I was sent.
All right, and okay, so the smoke, the paint wall.
In the
Miss Walker, I see 2 documents or 2 tags under events that are uploaded for exhibits, and I'm not sure which ones.
Okay,
I didn't hear you, Miss Walker.
I'm trying to find where they are in the case right now.
And if you I can re-forward it, that's no problem.
Is it this picture? Filthy walls in the second bedroom?
That's it. But I guess when they scanned it, but I
Okay.
have the actual photos. The walls in that room were really dirty. They had pulled the smoke alarm out the ceiling as proof so they can smoke freely, I guess. But yes. And the cigarette butts.
Okay. All right. I can see it. Thank
Okay.
you. Okay. So that was 361.78.
Yes, and in the lease there is a smoker's fine for 500, and then the pet fine would be 500.
And was that in the lease?
Yes.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
okay.
Anything else?
Early lease termination is 2,700, and that's in the lease.
All right. So we're just talking about damages now,
Oh.
but okay. Well, we can move on to that. So early lease termination,
Was 2,700.
and that's in the lease.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then for July and August, when they're in the home, I charge $100 each per month because
For what?
those are late fees for July and August. I didn't charge it for September, but in October, but just those 2 months.
Okay. So that was actually a late fee.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we already talked about that.
Okay.
No, I guess you only told me about the unpaid rent. Okay, so 27 for July, 2,700 for July, 2,700 for August, 2,700 for September, 2264.51 for October.
Yes.
And then you're adding an additional smoker's fine of 500, pet fine of 500, early termination fee of 2,700, and a late fee of $100 a month for July and August.
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
We went line by line. I believe that's it.
Okay. Anything else?
I didn't want to mention, I guess, just for clarity, so at the bottom of the summary, I did do the grand total, and that's less their security deposit. So it's $15,000 when I removed their security deposit.
Okay. And how much was the security deposit?
2,700.
Okay. So that was kept.
Yes, that was counted towards everything.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want me to see here or know about?
You've seen pictures. I explained everything. There's nothing else.
Okay. All right. So if you don't mind going on mute. So thank you. All right. So I'm going to start with Miss Wilcher. I'm going to stop sharing this screen so I can focus on you now. Miss Wilcher, you have an opportunity to raise any defenses or any arguments that you want me to know or hear about as it pertains to damages. So money. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Tell me what you want me to know.
Okay. First of all, I don't smoke. I never smoked a day in my life. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke vapes. I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke anything. So if I had someone over that went outside to smoke, then I'm not aware of that. But I don't smoke anything. My daughter, Tyra Hawthorne, doesn't smoke anything. We never smoked a day in our life. And as for the pet, I was keeping a pet for my brother, which I informed her of that. She never said that I couldn't keep a pet in the home. She said live there, that a pet couldn't stay there. So yes, I did have a pet in the home. Later down the line, my brother got sick, so I took over the dog. That's why I wanted to just go ahead and terminate the lease. I was very miserable there, first of all, the entire stay. We were not able to use any of the amenities in the neighborhood. We couldn't go to the pool. Every time we went to the pool, that was a problem. If I sit outside in my car, which I like to do to relieve stress, there's a security officer that is bothering me for just sitting in my vehicle. Everything about the neighborhood was just a terrible stay. So as I inform her that I will be leaving the property, like I'm going to move out, she said that she wouldn't charge for me terminating the lease early. She said that she wouldn't charge for that. I was out of the home.
Did she put that in writing?
Yeah, through an email.
And do you have that email?
Yes, I have all of the emails. And no, I have a really busy life. I'm going through a lot of things. So no, a lot of things are, this here hasn't been on my mind to send in anything before the due date. I'm always late with things because I have a whole bunch of stuff going on that I haven't thought about sending anything in, any documentations, but I still have all of the emails in my phone that I've saved from her. There's
Okay.
still every email that she sent to me is still
Well,
in
if we
my
don't,
phone.
I don't want to, I'm sorry to cut you off, but if I don't have it here today, then, today is the day of our trial. So it, today is the day to show me. So if you don't have it, that's okay. But I'm not going to take it later. Okay.
Right.
All
Yes,
right.
I do have all of the emails that was sent to me from her. And all
Okay.
of the emails that I sent to her is still in my email.
All right.
But I didn't send anything in before, within the 10 days that was required, because I am busy working and doing other things that I didn't do that. So on my end, I did not, you know, turn in any documents, emails or anything within that 10-day period that
Okay.
was required, because I didn't even see the email that today was court. My daughter informed me that it was court. I'm very busy working. So, and my last day of work is Friday. So she's suing for what? Because I won't have anything. My last day of work is Friday until further notice. So I won't even have a job to make any type of payments to her. And my daughter, I lost the Zoom. Something happened with my phone a while ago when we went out into the breakout room. And my daughter informed me that she tried to get a payment plan established with her that she said that she was not interested in doing. She's not interested in a payment plan.
Okay.
I
So I
made,
can't hear about what happened in your negotiations. That's private between all of y'all. Okay. So that ship has sailed at this point. So,
okay.
okay. Do you have any other defenses to any of her arguments about the damages, the early termination fees, anything like that?
Yes. So I moved out of the home on September the 16th of 2024.
Mhm.
So
When did you
I
tell
don't,
her you were moving out?
I could give me a second. I'll look in my email because I can't remember the exact date, but I can pull it up right now. The
Okay.
date that I sent her the email to let her know that I will be moving because of an uncomfortable stay there. But give me 1 second. I could just pull that up in my email, the exact date. August the 27th.
Okay. So that's the same day she told me. Okay.
And
All
that's the
right.
same day that I have as well. August the 27th, 2024.
All right. Anything else?
No, that is it. I mean, my mind is all over the place. I don't even know what we're addressing here, but I know that I do not smoke. She said that we were smoking in her home. I don't smoke anything. Never have smoked, me or my daughter. So I don't smoke anything. So if she saw cigarette butts in her backyard, I'm not sure where they're coming from. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. Neither have my daughter.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Hawthorne, this is your turn. Is there anything else you want to add? And please move the camera down so I can see your face.
Yes, so I'm on the lease because if you're 18 or older, you need to be on a lease. But as of the pet removal fee, however much she said that was, the trash can is at the top of the neighborhood, so that is insane. Definitely do not smoke, let alone cigarettes. Would never put a cigarette near my mouth. That's actually crazier than it literally sounds. The oil leak in the garage, no one even have old vehicles, so I'm not sure where that came from. If anyone was in the home maybe after we left with the garage open, the oil leak, no one has a car that oil leaks. We wasn't even there 5 months for all of the damages that she's seeing. And as well, I was just on the lease being, again, 18 or older, and you have to be on a lease. So I'm sick of this court. I'm sick of her. So could we please come to some type of agreement? I tried to ask her for a payment
Ma'am,
arrangement.
I'm sorry,
And
but it's the time for an agreement is past. So
okay,
we're in
well,
an active trial and I'm going to issue a judgment today.
okay.
Right?
Yes,
So
because I'm sick of her for real, and it's getting old. Like this last year is getting old. I was just on a lease because, of course, I'm 18 or older. You have to be on a lease. It's getting old. Sick
did
of
you
seeing that
sign the
demon for
lease?
real. Yes,
Did you?
my name was on the lease. Yes,
Okay. And did you read the lease before you signed it?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know.
All right. Anything else?
No, sick of her. Hurry up.
Ma'am, we're all just trying to do our best here. I know this is a frustrating situation, but I would ask for
Very.
a little bit of
And
respect for the court,
I
please.
have one more thing. I'm sorry,
Okay,
I
hold on,
forgot.
Miss Wilcher. Let me finish up with Miss Hawthorne first, okay?
Okay.
All right. Miss Hawthorne, is there anything else you want me to see, hear, or consider?
No,
Okay,
not at the moment.
okay, thank you. All right, Miss Wilcher, you said you wanted to add one more thing?
Yes, I just wanted to put this in. I've been renting since 2005 on my own when I was like 20 something years old. And this is my very, very first time renting from an African American landlord.
Okay,
I
hold
just
on.
think she wants
Ma'am,
money.
let me stop you, okay? Whatever has happened in the past with previous landlords is not relevant to this case. Anybody's race, religion, color, creed, sexual orientation is not relevant to this case, okay? So if you have any defenses to any of these damages, I will hear that. Otherwise, I think we're going to move on, okay?
Okay, I just have one more thing. I called the police on her. I don't know if that's in any of the things. I don't know if she included that.
Well, I don't have any records of that in the file. You didn't submit any evidence of that. So all of that's going to be hearsay. So I really can't hear that unless you have a certified police report for me to look at and it's relevant to this situation. Okay?
And I have another thing to say. How would
Hold
that
on one
split
second.
work?
Hold on, Miss Hawthorne. Hold on one second. I'm still finishing up with your mom. All right, Miss Wilcher, is there anything else?
Yes, you said that I would need the police report because I can get the police report.
Well,
But
we're
you
here
said
for
it's
trial now. So, I mean, the time to
she
introduce
broke
that would have
into
been
the
now.
home. She broke
Ma'am,
into the home.
ma'am, I would be happy to look at a police report at trial, but we're having our trial now. So unfortunately, I'm not going to continue the trial for additional evidence. We've had plenty of time. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Is there anything else that you want me to know?
No, because
Okay.
you said if we don't have it here today in this trial, then no, I have a lot of stuff, but no, because I don't have it here.
Okay. That's fair. All right. I mean, I know life gets in the way sometimes. All right, Miss Hawthorne, anything last for you?
Yes. How would the split work for the full balance or whatever? How would that work between two people? Or would you tell us that afterwards or however the case is? Because I'm for real.
All right. So when I enter a judgment, I cannot give you legal advice. Before I answer that question, is there anything else that anyone wants me to know, say here, including you, Miss Lee? I've taken plenty of testimony. I think I have a sense of what's going on here.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So I am now closing evidence. So there will be no more testimony. Okay. All right. So to answer your question, Miss Hawthorne, both parties were sued. I'm assuming that the lease says that the parties are jointly and severably liable, although I would need to look at that. So I will be entering a judgment amount in one amount against both defendants. So it will be the total judgment amount, if any, against both defendants. So both of you would, yeah. And you may need to consult with an attorney about what that means.
So we can still call the lawyer for this or what? Because this, I don't know nothing about this. So how would that work? Like once you said or what?
We are in the middle of a trial now. I'm about to enter a judgment. Okay. Once my judgment is entered, I will issue it in writing. And there will be information in the judgment about how to file an appeal if you so choose. All right. I will require that the amount of judgment is paid into the registry of court in order to file the appeal, which we call now a petition for review. And the appeal, you can file that petition for review into state court or superior court, and it must be filed within 30 days of the day my judgment is entered. So that would be the day that it's filed with the clerk. So probably not today. Even if I write my order today, it's not going to get entered today because the clerk is going to be off duty for the evening. All right. So it'll be 30 days from the date the judgment is entered. Any other questions about the process?
Yes. Who do we contact? Just contact the clerk office?
About what, ma'am?
The appeal.
There will be information in my order.
Okay.
With instructions about how to file an appeal. You file that appeal into the state or the superior court, and it's called a petition for review. All right. And I would recommend that you consult with an attorney about how to file that or what you need to do to file it. All right. All right. Any other questions before I make my final statements in this case?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Wiltshire, Ms. Hawthorne, any last statements?
No, thanks.
Okay. Ms. Hawthorne, can you move the camera down so I can see your face, please? Thank you. All right. So I do find that the plaintiff has proved by a preponderance of the evidence that the defendants do owe money. I am going to spend a little time looking at the lease and the documents to determine exactly how much money is owed, particularly in the lease in terms of the early termination dates, and just make sure that that $2,700 for the early termination fee and the pet fine and the smoking fine are in the lease agreement. And then other than that, I do find that she's proved by a preponderance of the evidence that the tenants failed to pay rent for July and August and September. And through October, I find by a preponderance of the evidence that there was evidence of a pet in the home. I need to review the lease to ensure that there was no pet allowed to be there. But if that's the case, then I will issue the amounts that she is seeking for those pet damages. I find that there was damage to the fireplace, dog hair, feces. I find by a preponderance of the evidence there was oil damage on the garage that needed to be power washed, that the drywall needed to be fixed in the garage, that the living room flooring needed to be replaced due to pet urine, that there was smoking that took place in the home, and that smoking remediation, carpet cleaning, deep cleaning, feces removal, and smoke repair needed to take place to make Miss Lee whole. So that will be the ruling of the court. The amount, I need to do a little math and pull out my calculator, but I will issue a written ruling, and you will receive that. Please make sure that my clerk has your email address. You can type that into the chat. If you have emailed us in the past, we already have it. If not, or if you did not receive notice of today's hearing by email, please make sure to type your email in the chat. And then I believe that that concludes the business of the court today, and court is adjourned. Thank you.